Okay, recording this video after close trade Thursday, the 5th September 2019. Do hope you are doing well. So, good week's trading so far. We've had some good news and we've got some resolution from the congestion zone that we've been in over the last couple of weeks. Good news has come out of China and Hong Kong with some kind of resolution in terms of the protests that they've been having in Hong Kong, and then maybe some good news with the trade talks between the US and China. Wait and see. But on Friday, we got the unemployment numbers coming out 7:30 a.m. Chicago time, and we could have a little bit of trouble from there. But anyway, here's the daily chart of the ES continuous contract. This is day and night, and you can see that we have, having reached a rainbow pattern, we just ran out of juice here with the amateurs kind of buying a breakout above 3,000, it just going nowhere. We dropped off pretty sharply. And this has been the sequence that's been important over the last couple of weeks, which is the blue professional bars. When you see big ranging blue professional bars like this, that the highs and lows of that activity are really important. We usually go test the tops and bottoms of that ranges until we get confirmed breaks. And you can see we went, first of all, we tested the high of the range, then we came back down, tested the low of the range, came back, tested the high, kind of found a little bit of resistance, and then finally with Wednesday into Thursday's activity, bang, we busted up through there. So at least on the daily charts, continuation of the uptrend. We got this kind of confirmed uptrend going on. Yes, we've got a bunch of resistances that we kind of have put in place, but we haven't got exhaustion buy, we haven't had bearish divergence. The readings are pretty high, but it looks like we're continuing on this uptrend. We might come down and just kind of test into that today, Friday, with those employment numbers. So the tick bar chart and the highest time frame I like to look at is the 4500 tick bar chart, sometimes equivalent to like a 45-minute chart on the E-mini. This is Monday kind of activity with Labor Day. It's all kind of all over the place because the markets were shut. It's just being moved around by well, I wouldn't say the professionals, but the average trade size is so low, and there's nothing sitting in the queue. It's easily to just move this thing up and down and up and down, and that's exactly what they did until we get Tuesday's activity. Blue professional bars come in here with exhaustion buy, bang, we break into an uptrend here. They pick up that dip. They didn't take profits up here. They picked up the dip, and seemingly they bought the bust out above that high into this next move. So this is exhaustion buying getting the move going. This is exhaustion buying ending the move, and we've had a whole bunch of blue professional bars coming on Thursday's activity at that high. Not sure what they're doing here. Did they just buy that little retrace at that point? We're still showing some strength here, kind of coming up to Friday's activity. I'm recording this about 4 in the morning Chicago time, but it's about 11 in the morning in France. So when the market opens up at 3:30 or 2:30 when the numbers kind of come out, we'll see what goes on there. The reason why I'm saying we could have a little bit of weakness is we've got pullback to end of trend on the left shoulder. We've got pullback to end of trend on the intermediate time frame. So we ripple through the time frames. That is usually somewhere where we do kind of roll over and then just go back and find support on the highest time frame. So potentially with the numbers coming out at 7:30 a.m. Chicago time, potentially that could mean a little bit of weakness. But let's see. We're still on this highest time frame showing strength. So with Thursday's activity, the overnight session was where all of it happened. We had this breakaway gap up kind of move. I think this move was almost 35 points from this breakout level to where we opened up, or 30 points where we opened up trade on the Thursday. And with gap ups, you tend to just play the continuation of the uptrend, that it just will kind of keep on going until we see exhaustion buy. I always say exhaustion buy, that's before the open. You've got to wait for the full liquidity of the day. That means where all the players are active after the open. So this move's not going to end until we see exhaustion buys during the day session, and so that's happened here and here. But we were just super strong, kept on going and going. We had a non-manufacturing ISM number came out, I think it was here, with all of that volatility, and that's when we saw that explosive continuation of the move to that exhaustion buy. I was long into this kind of breakout at 67.75, but then lost my bottle around here at 74.25 for 6.5, just because I'm not sure the flush pattern had come out at that point, but we were testing those highs. We'd had bearish divergence. I just got a little bit kind of anxious and kind of jumped out there. But it was good for another, well, who knows, another bit. Not my kind of style to ride that all the way through the release of a number. But anyway, if you did, good for you. And then we just settled down. Gap up days tend to be slightly smaller range. And then we just settled into this move kind of on the way down. It was kind of jerking all the way down. It wasn't a proper change of trend day or reversal day really, because we'd had that gap up move that just shows the strength in equities at the moment. So anyway, we'll see what happens early Friday with that trend. Just a couple of other charts that I'm looking at. We have still not got a decent breakout on crude. It looked like yesterday we were going for it. And I'm long crude at the moment, and I want this thing to kind of get above 58 into the 60s and really kind of get going. But we're settling underneath resistance on the highest time frame on the daily chart, the MTF chart. But we've got a lot of cyclical support kind of coming in. That daily cyclical support on the highest time frame at some point will come in, because we had exhaustion sell, blue professional bars buying that dip at 50.51. So I thought it was going to be yesterday that we'd get above there, but at least we got a little bit of a target at 58 to get above. So let's see which way that goes. The other one that I'm obviously in and kind of looking at, and we had some strength over the last couple of days. So Bitcoin kind of tested into the 9,000s kind of again, and it has seemingly held. And now we're busting up to through the 10,000s. A lot of blue professional bars kind of sitting here, but no exhaustion buy. The exhaustion signals that have set this thing off were down at 3,000 when we had exhaustion sell, bullish divergence. The market breaks into an uptrend here. If you're charting Bitcoin, it's really tricky to get a decent chart on this, because what you want is you want all of the history, but you also want all of the volume activity intraday and so on. The best I have found for charting this is using BTC USD, which is the Forex kind of information in TradeStation, and then setting the chart to a 1440 minute chart. So 1440 minutes is 1 day in minutes, and then when you do that, you can then select trade volume for calculating volume patterns and professional and amateur activity. So that's the best chart I've found that's been kind of representative of what's going on in the Bitcoin market. So this obviously with these blue, like I was saying, big kind of blue professional ranging bars are areas that we need to bust out of. We bust out of this one now. The low of this one is now held, and we're busting through the high of that. And the next kind of area that we're going to find difficulty is 12,500, something like that. These levels kind of up here. Well, it's actually 13,000. Anyway, so there we go. A couple of other charts I'm looking at, and Friday should be kind of fun trading, because we've got a big number kind of coming out, and that'll cause lots of activity. Hope your trading is going well.